Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. In our previous video, we have learned about class provider. Here we are using the same bookstore application and it is running on the browser with this URL. In home page and all books page, we are using this counter. If I click this counter plus plus, the value is increasing by 2. If I click this button, the value is decreasing. If I go to all books page, see here we are having the same counter value. It is increasing and it is decreasing. It is working fine. In this video we will understand about existing provider. In app module we are using this providers array. Press F12 to see the definition of this provider. Again press F12 here. Now we will see about this existing provider. Let's see what will happen if I use this existing provider. Here press F12. In this existing provider, we are having provide and multi-property. This one is required and this is optional. Let's see what we have in this existing SANS provider. So press F12. Here we are having this use existing property. Now we will use this provide and this use existing property. First, understand this concept. Let's say we have two services in our application. First one is counter service and the second one is counter to service. We have injected both of them separately in our component. Now open this counter to service. Here first remove this extends and counter service from here and remove this code from this constructor and remove this super method also and remove this override here and here also and save the changes. Now we have the same code as counter service, but here it is incrementing by 2 and decrementing by 2 here. That is the only difference. Let's use this counter to service in all books component. Here we are using counter service. Now let's use counter to service and add the necessary imports as well and save the changes. Now let's open home component. Here still we are using this counter service. Okay, this is the current scenario. In home component we are using this counter service and in all books component we are using counter to service. In any scenario I need only one instance, that is from counter service or counter to service for both of them. Let's see how can we do that. In this scenario we can use existing. Either we are using counter service or counter to service, we will get the instance from one service that we have to define it in the app module file. Now let's remove this counter 3 service from here. Now instead of this use class, now we will use existing and save the changes. Here we will get the instance only for this counter to service. Whatever we have written in front of this use existing, we will get the instance from this service only. And go back to the browser. You can see here we are not having the counter. Now right click, choose inspect, open the console window. See here we are getting an error. The error is null injection error, no provider for counter to service. To fix this error, we have to define this counter to service in providers array. We can do that in two ways. In counter to service, we can use provided in property in this injectable decorator like this and save the changes. Go back to the browser. See here, the error is gone. We are having this counter. Now, remember in home page, we are using counter service. In counter service, we are increasing or decreasing counter value by 1. Now click this counter plus plus button. See here, we are getting the value increasing by 2. If I click this button, it is decreasing by 2 because we are using counter to service in use existing property here. Okay. Now, instead of using this provided in property, let's remove it from here and save the changes. We can define this counter to service in app module file. Here, this is an array, so put a comma here and add the counter to service and save the changes. Now we have added provider for this counter to service. There is no difference in using provided in root property and defining the service here. Go back to the browser. Now click this counter plus plus and this button. So it is working fine. Now let's do the reverse here. In provide property, let's use counter to service, and in the use existing, let's use counter service, and here also let's use counter service and save the changes. Now we will get the instance only from this counter service. Go back to the browser, click this button. You can see here the value is increasing by 1. Now click this counter minus minus button. The value is decreasing by 1. Now go to all books page. Here also it increasing and decreasing by 1. Okay, this is how we can use existing um, for other services in our Angular application. I hope this video is helpful to you. You can download the project source code. The link is available in the description. Thanks for watching this.